Welcome to Fuel. Fuel stands for Finance, Unity, Empowerment, Legacy. Join Dr. Jackie, Dennis, and Matt as they discuss in part one the survival of the fittest. Enjoy. I'm at a I'm at a weird place because, as you know, I'm also, along with taking care of my own finances, I have to take care of my mom's too. And
Right.
so, without giving out exact dollars, let's just say that I have a conservative annuity that right now is in the high five figures.
Wow.
And I'm just starting to contemplate because, on average, I'm only making like 38, 39 cents a day. I mean,
Off
it's
of
steady.
a five-figure number, six-figure
Uh,
number, five-figure number.
no, five figure number.
Wow.
But again, it's an annuity product. Um, you know,
How long have you had it? I'm sorry for interrupting, but I'm like really
no, no,
curious.
no, no. You know what? Because our audience, they might as well know. I haven't had it that long. The only reason that I did it in the first place was because that was kind of money that I was looking at more the long term, based upon more so that legacy part of fuel.
Hmm.
Um, but at the same time, oh man, with some of the other things that we know about, which we can't necessarily talk about in detail here, but I'm starting to think, oh man, maybe I should take that chunk and just go ahead and put it into that vehicle. It would still be under her name and just let it do its thing.
Well, you
Um,
probably can do 10% without any penalties. She's over 62 and
oh,
a half.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you probably can do a 10% withdrawal, which if you're making 38 cents, 10% withdrawal would put you in a much better situation.
yeah,
And
yeah,
next
yeah,
year, do
yeah,
a 10% withdrawal. That way, you don't risk everything. I mean, it's just a thought,
yeah. No, no.
but I'm feeling you because I canceled my annuity. I feel
See, see,
bad because I thought I like annuities, but like you said, my annuity is no way I can survive off of the interest rate I was getting. So I did something else with it. Now I can survive.
hey, for purposes of letting our audience in on what we are talking about, it comes down to this interesting scenario of basically what are you trying to achieve with the money that you have? And
Right.
so, what I have actually demonstrated, in which Dennis has actually done a 180-degree difference than me, is that I'm still potentially playing the safe game a little bit. And Dennis is basically saying, heck with that. I'm
Well,
I'm doing.
well,
I
you see
mean,
the
and I don't want to say
calculation.
I don't want it to sound like it's just being random, like just throwing stuff away. But let's just say that he has decided to trust the process, maybe more than I have. In fact, not maybe, definitely more than I am right now. And he's just saying that with the vehicle that he's using, um, he knows that his return on, well, the only way I can put it, return on investment, which is not really an investment, but that what he expects to get in return will far outpace my little safe annuity. Did I say that right?
You said a mouthful. What I did was I counted. I just counted how long it would be till I was broke at my current living. I've been retired for 10 years, 11 years, whatever. But I count down how much money I need just in case I live as long as my father. My father is 88, and I'm younger. So I'm like, wow, I need at least this amount. And it was more than what I had. So I had to figure out a way to make my money grow a little faster than what it was doing. And it was growing pretty fast if I was like 20 years old. It would be a lot of money, but I'm not 20. So I needed it to grow faster. And when when I did the calculations, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to get a job. If I follow this plan, I will have to get a job. There's nothing wrong with having a job.
Right.
Just that I worked very hard for 35, 30 years, 20-hour days, 7 days a week, messed up my body. And I said, no, I'm not doing that kind of thing again. I'm gonna find a way to make my money work for me. So the first thing I did, first thing we do is we search and we research and we look at different companies. And I found a company that I joined, and I'm a licensed insurance agent. Great, I love it. And I saw a way out. I said, "Oh, I can make enough money here to build up my future, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to work 20-hour days and blah blah blah." Well, after about a couple years, they were telling me that I need to work more. I need to work harder. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm already working back to 16, 17 hours. I'm like, this is not the right plan for me. I love
Right.
insurance.
Right.
Um, I love what it can do for families. I love what it has done for my family, but I don't want to work that hard. Not that I shouldn't say that hard. I don't mind working hard. I just didn't want to work that long, 20-hour days, and you're always on. So
Yeah.
I started looking around, and then and this is the only time you'll hear this. Thanks to COVID, a lot of things came my way, and my calculations were getting worse because now I wasn't bringing any money in, and I was looking at what I had left, and I had to cut off a couple of years, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if this COVID thing doesn't go away, I'm going to be in trouble, man. Well, I considered once I could see the end of my money, I knew I was in trouble, even though I
Mhm.
had a few years. So we've been dallying and dipping into different things, stocks and cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, until the numbers started working out in my favor. So each time it works in my favor, I gain a year instead of losing a year like I've been doing. And, thanks to different government programs and things like that, I just got one major hurdle to get over. And then I'm back like Matt, Easy Street, living in two different countries, you know.
Hey, brother, look, I'm playing that balancing act just like you are in a different way because I'm literally manipulating two different countries and trying to make that situation work for me.
Right.
But yeah, so actually, COVID uh, it devastated me in a different way. In that it forced me to stay in the U.S. for a lot longer than I had planned to,
Mhm.
and my expenses definitely go up when I'm here in the States, as opposed to when I'm overseas. And then I get some relief. And so, at this point, because I'm taking care, just like you, taking care of a parent, and I just can't be away from that parent for long periods of time. Um, well, you know what? Looking all of this, somebody is trying to invade our conversation right in the middle of it.
Really?
Believe it or not, yes. So I'm gonna wait till that person gets on. But it's been playing the same tightrope act. Little crypto here, some investments here, a little real estate for me. It's all kind of. I'm just trying to make it work so that, like you, I'm not really trying to work. And unlike you, um, I do mind working hard now. I'm trying not to have to work at all and live on what we talk about, which is residual income.
Passive. Passive income is even better.
Passive income. Yes. And I'm telling you, um, just like you, we have some mutual things that we're doing um, that are is really allowing us to be able to do that. And you know, that's been a real encouragement for me because I was literally just like you trying to figure out how in the world am I going to be able to maintain this thing without having to go back to a 9 to 5.
Yeah. I was knocked out with COVID for 6 weeks. I mean, 6 weeks was the main part. And then you don't want to be around anybody, for a while. And that's an income killer right there. Thank goodness, once I was able to get myself where I could sit down for extended periods of time, because first I had to learn how to walk again. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I couldn't even walk to my own mailbox. And once I started getting getting all those things back in order, I'm like, okay, I'm in trouble. I must, so they forced us into Zoom, and I shouldn't say it as a bad thing. It was actually a good thing because now I can do my 15-minute workday anywhere in the world.
Right.
So I've benefited that way, and I know that if this Delta variant does anything bad or whatever else they got coming for us next, that I can still keep my household together, still make money. So
Okay.
it's like we were forced into a different direction, And in some neighborhoods, I've noticed that a lot of restaurants are closed and a lot of stores are closed. And as I traveled around, and I'm like, where did all these people go, and what are they doing? Because it's no way that the government stimulus checks is enough for them to survive. And
Right.
so this is one of the reasons why we do fuel, so we can reach out and maybe help somebody. I was glad to be able to help that one person I talked about earlier. And I'm starting to yap because I just noticed, is that Dr. Jackie?
Yes. I mean,
Oh, hey, Dr. Jackie.
Hey, how are you, everybody?
All
I
right.
hope this.
I mean, look, we thought we were gonna have a boys' day, and look, as always, the minute the guys get together, then the lady got to come in and just disrupt stuff.
You need a little culture. You need a little class.
Well, it's good to see you, Dr. Jackie.
It is because look, I was looking at Dr. Jackie, and I had some text exchange from last night, and when she told me why she wasn't going to be available for this taping, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to miss you," and then she immediately responds, "I'm going to miss you too," and she did it like Prince, where the two was the number two.
So you no longer felt special, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to stop by, see how you're doing, and maybe join in a little bit. So don't let me stop you.
Well, I was just talking about my COVID experience and how it forced me to learn other ways of making money. And money that didn't force me to be around a lot of people, because at first we were meeting in our office, and we'd have 60, 70, 80 people in there. And then you go to where I'm not going to another office again. And I had to be honest with people, and I told them I'm not coming back. I don't want to say this and piss anybody off, but I don't believe a lot of things, but I don't think that I should be in a position where I can make someone else sick or someone else can make me sick. So you got to make a decision. I wear masks, but I'm not going to be around that many people right now. And while as they try to get us back into that situation, I'm like, I have a computer that's sterile. I can talk to anybody around the world right here with my dress shirt on, with my name on my sleeve, and my Bermuda shorts.
Because you can best believe I had my shorts on too, buddy.
And as we find other ways of making income, this is why we have fuel, because we still got a legacy build. It's not about us anymore. It's about the generations that come after us. So that's what we were talking about, Dr. Jackie, if you're back. I think you're frozen. Yep, she's frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen. So, but yeah, I hear you loud and clear. As I said, what was supposed to be in 2020, what was supposed to be just a 3-month stay in the U.S. became a 10-month stay.
Wow.
And it totally whacked out my budget. Some of the real estate that I had going on, it slowed down the progress. Thank goodness that they did not stop completely, but it did slow it down. So my expected payoff did not happen in the time frame that I originally thought. And so it has been just a tightrope, just trying to maneuver and to be able to still meet the monthly expenses, but at the same time continue that legacy thing. So, for our audience, the important thing is always you have to find that place where you are comfortable in what you're doing, and again, if you're talking about money opportunities or investment opportunities, don't put out more than you can afford to lose. For me, that's just been the thing to deal with. Don't put out more than you can
They
lose.
say that, but how do you know what you can afford to lose? Like I lost from the year 2000 to 2009, 14, whatever. I lost all my real estate. And let me tell you, it hurt. Real estate is pretty easy to purchase, but I was so glad that when COVID hit, I didn't have any real estate. I don't care what you say. I have friends who are suffering so bad, but how do you know what is too much? Because losing $20 can devastate some people. I was talking to a friend today, and I said, "Well, you can invest $300." He said, to some people, $1, they lose $1, it devastates them. I'm like, wow. I think we need to make different decisions because everybody has a cell phone. Do you have to have an iPhone? You can invest $1,200 and get the iPhone later. So I know children running around with $1,200 iPhones, and I'm like, that's crazy. So
yeah, and I hear you, believe me, I hear you loud and clear because I'm dealing with a relative right now who's been looking at this $1,000 flip phone, and
flip phone.
Believe it or not, yeah, don't ask me. I haven't even seen it. Okay, I thought we were beyond that, but anyway, but this relative really likes the phone, but I'm like, but do you do things on it that would warrant
Are you podcasting?
That's what I'm saying. Like I need that. I need that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on an Android for you guys that are listening. But if anybody needs it, I need it because doggone it, I'm on here doing visual content like almost every day in some form or fashion.
Right,
But
so it's a business expense. I got
yes,
people who want an iPhone so they can play with it.
right,
Like, are you
right,
what?
right, and
That's the millennials and the Z's, and I'm like, y'all out of y'all freaking minds. We grew up without cell phones and we're okay.
right,
I had
right.
them for 12. I said, you know what I do? I go on, actually, I go on YouTube and I look up cell phones and I look at all the specs and I find out what I want, what I need, what features I want, and then I buy it. And I pay more than $350 for a phone. I'm doing it. And this is with us doing Zoom on the phones and stock on the phones and
Yes,
Cash App and all that
yes,
stuff.
yes,
$1,200 for a phone and it's not part of your business plan?
right.
Ladies and
Exactly,
gentlemen, we have got
exactly.
to tighten up our belts because another emergency is coming. I heard that the Delta variant is devastating. I don't know if it's true. I don't care. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. You better be prepared. Because the last time, what happened? All the toilet tissue was gone and all the milk was gone. I'm like, these people, you can't have excrement if you don't eat. But anyway,
Yeah.
the things, I know a friend of mine was trying to talk me into something crazy. I said, let me tell you something, brother. I think it was gold and silver. I said, let me tell you, when I was younger, my brother bought all this silver and he pretty much wasted all his money because the silver ain't worth nothing. I'm not saying it won't be nothing in the future, but if the economy goes down and you have bread, water, milk, you have food, water, and a place to stay and a way to keep yourself safe, you're worth $1,000,000.
Mm-hmm.
If you got gold and silver, where are you gonna spend it? And my buddy called me. He calls me all the time. You want to buy some gold? I said, brother, I got gold. You want to buy mine? Because it's useless. I've had it for 40 years. No, I want to know where the food's coming from, where the water's coming from, and how many guns I got to buy. Because
Yeah.
when the SH, the fan, I forgot how it goes, sorry.
Yeah.
SHFTF or something. When that happens, ain't nobody gonna want no darn gold. They gonna want your food, your water, maybe your gasoline if you got any. They ain't want no gold or silver. You can't eat it.
Right, right,
So we got to
right.
be realistic about things. If you're scared that the whole world is going to go to pot, then I have to give the preppers a hand up for this one. Sometimes people think preppers are a little bit touched, but what's going to be valuable to you? There was a picture from Germany. I think you've seen this, where the guy went to buy bread and he had a wheelbarrow full of money. You ever see that picture? A
Yeah.
wheelbarrow full of money to buy bread.
Yeah.
And if gold is heavy, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enough gold to save your life, it's going to be heavy. So you
Right.
better have enough to pay somebody to help you guard it. And when are you going to have a chance to go and get food if you're worried about who's going to take your gold? No, let's look at things differently. Let's try to be realistic. I'm sorry for all you iPhone users. I apologize. I
Don't
think that's the most
apologize.
idiotic thing I've ever seen. I don't care how well it takes better pictures than my Android. I don't take that many pictures on my Android. I take pictures of my garden because I learned how to grow food. I said, and I don't need an extra 900 pixels to let you know that this is an apple versus a banana. So, and it may sound like I'm being mean to people, but no, not at all. If you got overabundance of cash, buy an iPhone. Who cares? But if you can invest $300, you do not need an iPhone. I'm sorry. I mean, and that's personal. That's me personally. I know some people are not going to agree to that because iPhones are the best thing since sliced bread. They are not the best thing since sliced bread. Huawei or Huawei or whatever. I mean, Apple's not even number one around the world.
I know.
So in America, Oh, you think it's the best thing. You get out the country and don't nobody care. Now,
Right.
in the movies they care, but man, wow.
No, hey, brother, believe it or not, on this one, we totally agree. Because I've been laughed at because I'm still walking around with my little Samsung iPhone. Excuse me, not iPhone, but Android. And you know what? It does everything that I need it to do. Okay, and you know, and even though I spend a lot of time out here in this podcast environment. I've got other cameras and other equipment that compensate for spending thousands of dollars on something that's not going to return that investment back to me.
Yeah.
So,
If it's a business expense, fine.
yeah, I mean, like, I'm gonna tell you right now because I literally have two of these. I guess they're LCD lights or whatever you call these things, and I have two of them. The total expense is probably about $50 for both of them. Got a green screen, a pretty advanced green screen with a stand and everything. Add another 100 because I had multiple screens and and stuff like that. So I just got the package because I knew I was going to be doing this. So altogether, I'm still under $300 when everything is said and done, and I can tell you that it has already paid for itself and more. So you know, to go out there and then finance an iPhone where, again, because most people are not buying these things straight out,
No.
they're putting it on their plan. So every month it's on the plan and they nickel and dime fees out of you. And you're paying a boatload of money just, as you said, for more pixels. Thank you for joining us for part one of our conversation on survival of the fittest. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Fueling Future Generations. Also, drop an email to us at fuelingfuturegenerations2020 at gmail.com. Have a great day.